How are we doing, fellas? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I have made almost $2 million strictly off social media at 20 years old. Now, this is not going to be the most highly edited video. This is not going to be the prettiest video. This is going to be a straight up raw knowledge drop of every single thing I know about building a brand that pays you forever on social media. And that's probably why you clicked on this video. You don't want the fluff. You don't want all that fancy editing. I made a slideshow for you guys over the past couple of hours so I can really, show and articulate everything I'm trying to tell you. And hopefully you can take these things, build your own social media brand, and get rich from it just like I have. So let's get right into it. 1.7 million I've made in the last 2.5 years from my businesses off of social media. This is some of the flashy stuff I've got. I've got a McLaren, I got an Aston Martin, I got the diamond watch. Basically, what I'm trying to say, social media is paid for my whole life. It's paid for everything. Yes, I have real businesses. Yes, I don't get paid for views like a lot of people think. But most of my marketing, pretty much all of my marketing for my businesses straight up comes from social media. And without Instagram and TikTok, you would not be watching this video right now because I would not have any money probably. So let's get right into it. How I've made all this money on social media. Before I get into it, if you're skeptical about who I am a sports content creator. My name's Nathan. Like I said, I've made a lot of money off social media. These are my pages, 150K on my main page, Fantasy Football Rocket. Basically, what I do, I make sports content. I'm an affiliate for one of the biggest betting apps in the world, Underdog, and then a bunch of other ones, Prize Picks, Chalkboard. I also sell picks. I sell some other services, and then I also have sponsored posts as well. So that's what my business is in a gist. As we get through this video, I'm going to really break down what I do with sports content, but this video is not about sports content. This video is specifically about social media as a whole. You can use what I'm going to teach you in these videos in any single, business you want to, whether it's fitness coaching, whether you're trying to start a community around one of your hobbies, whether you know how to play the trumpet, whether you want to be a sports creator like me. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's on social media, this is going to be valuable to you. But these are just some of the followers, I've amassed. Got another 18K on my other page right here. Almost 50K on TikTok, 30K on my Facebook, and then I got another 15K on my personal page. And the reason I threw my personal page up here is because I've only started posting on my personal page, probably where you found me, about 3 months ago. I've gone from literally 1,000 followers, just my friends and family, to 15,000 followers in 3 months using the same tenets I use to blow up my football page all organically. So that's just another proven, system to show that it also works. It's not just like I hit this big one time. I have multiple pages with a lot of followers, and I'm literally doing it in real time, and it's probably the content on my personal Nathan Antonucci page that you came here from. So these are some of the pages I have. I've amassed about 250K followers, and even though that number might not sound insane, there's people with millions of followers and stuff like that. I'm going to break down why these type of followers are much more valuable than just people posting dumb stuff online to get views, because views do not equal money, and we're going to get into that in a minute. So why is social media powerful? You probably already know the answer to this question. You probably already know why social media is absolutely massive. But if you're really 100% new, we'll go over this for a second. So free marketing. In the past, you would have to pay hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to get millions of views on your ad. That's basically what your social media page is. You're posting a bunch of content, but inevitably, you want to sell something, right? You want to make money from your page. You want to make money from your social media. It's a business. And instead of having to pay for TV advertising, spending millions of dollars on that, like you had to in the past, anything besides the past 20, 30 years, you can post on social media for completely free and get the same, if not more views. So it's free marketing. And if you're not using it, you are going to be completely left behind in the time of right now making money online with online business. You need obviously a social media following. If you want to push any sort of content, any sort of, business from your content, you need to have a brand, you need to have a following, and it's completely free to start. The other big thing, it's even the playing field. This is probably the biggest thing. So the reason I popped up Mr. Beast, I could use any entrepreneur as an example here. But if you look on the left, this guy, Mr. Beast, he had no money, right? He was a normal kid, whatever. I don't know his exact story, but he had no money. He started as a content creator, like, 5, 6 years ago, I think it was, just, as a normal college student. And now, as you can see right here, he is worth $1 billion. He doesn't have any businesses besides the ones he promotes through his social media. And obviously, he's been able to make those businesses because of his following. But the point is, he's gone from the ground up with no money invested except for what he's made from his content to nothing to literally $1 billion net worth in 5 or 6 years. So it's even the playing field. Because in the past, you would have to spend all that money on advertising. You probably didn't have a chance about learning about business or starting a business unless you had a bunch of money to start it because you needed to advertise it, right? Well, now you can start a business with no money, just like I did, and get extremely rich at a young age if you're ready to put the work in and you know how social media works. So, that's why it's powerful. I know a lot of you guys already know the answer to this question, but now that we went over that, let's get into some more in-depth stuff about how you can really get rich on social media. So there is a massive difference between going viral and having a real business. Now, no shade to whoever's cat page this is. I don't know who this is. I selected a random page on, TikTok for this example. But this guy has 52,000 followers. If you were a 50-year-old dad, no idea how social media works, but you kind of had an idea, like, people get views online, they make money, whatever. They'd probably think, wow, 50,000 followers, they must be making money. No, this guy makes $0 from his page. There's no affiliate link in his bio. There's no call to action. There's nothing to make money. All he does is post about cats. And if you want to do that, if you want to post about cats and just entertain people, that's fine. But the point is, there's a difference from building a real business and brand on social media that's going to make you money and just getting views. And this goes back to my point about me only having 250,000 followers. If I spent all my time posting brain rot, yes, I could have millions of followers and be broke. But I am posting content that is attracting my ideal clients, people who are actually going to buy my services and products on purpose so that it's actually worthwhile and I'm going to get rich from it. So entertainment and going viral, just views as a whole, does not equal real followers or a real business, excuse me. It doesn't equal money. So you need to find a happy medium between getting views. Obviously, you want to go viral, but also while you're promoting your brand, building your brand, and giving valuable content. So the reason I put as a good example my guy Fantasy Football Sav here is because he's someone in my mentorship program. He started with me a little under a year ago now in the Sports Creator Academy that I coach. So he's a sports content creator, obviously. He blew his page up to like 22,000 followers. And even though this guy only has 22,000 followers, he made $68,000 profit in December last year. Why? Because his content has positioned him in a way to build a following of 20,000 people who are actually real leads that will buy his product, sign up for his affiliate codes, whatever it is, because he's been posting content to attract the ideal client. If you post cat videos, you're not going to make any money. You could have 1 million followers, but if they're random and they didn't come why you're trying to get them, like they're just people all over the world, you're going to have a bunch of random bots and kids on TikTok that are not even going to have money to buy your product. So views aren't everything. Building an actual page that is building a brand and supporting whatever niche you're in so that these people will buy from you eventually is what we're trying to do. So viral versus a real business, two very different things. Views isn't the end all be all. It's about getting quality leads because a lot of people with not that many followers make a lot of money. So here's how it works. How do you build a real business? You're probably wondering, okay, how do I actually get views? How do I build a brand? How do I build a real business? So this is the funnel. But the number one thing is you need to give value, right? If you go to a coffee shop, you buy a coffee, you give them money, they give you a coffee. Imagine you went to a coffee shop, you gave them money, they didn't give you any coffee. You'd be pissed off, right? That's the same thing with social media, but with attention. People are watching your content or following you to see more of your content and they want to get value back. So you need to give value. The main way to make money in today's world, especially when it comes to social media, is giving value. Too many people are fixated on how much money they're making, but if they focused on how much value they're giving to other people, they would make way more money. Money comes with it. You give value to people, that's how you're going to get people to follow you. Valuable content, they're going to follow you, then they're going to turn into leads, and then they're going to buy from you because you've built trust, built through, the value you've given to them, whether it's in your content, whether it's in your funnels, whatever it is. But long story short, you need to give value. So whatever niche you want to pick, right? Whatever niche you're in, or maybe you already have a business watching this video, right? You need to find a way to give value on that topic. Something where if a viewer watches your video, let's say it's on Instagram or TikTok for a minute or 2 minutes long, they watch it and they're like, wow, I learned something from this video. I want to see more of this guy's content because that's what's going to make them follow you. That's what's going to make them a lead for your business and inevitably let them buy from you. So you need to focus on giving value. The top of the funnel, as you can see right here, is your content. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Specifically valuable content. This is what you're going to be posting. This is how you're going to get views and followers, which is the next step. If you're posting valuable content, it's going to get views, it's going to get followers. This specific video is not going to be exactly how to edit, exactly how to do things like that. That would be a whole different type of video. This is the funnel of how to get rich off social media. I'm not going to step by step walk through how to edit because there's a million different types of content you could post. You can figure that out on your own. Or if you want to become a sports content creator, we'll talk about that in a bit. And then obviously I would show you that. But this is just talking about the actual funnel and the system that I use to get rich off social media. And it works with any business, anything you're trying to, really blow up with, whatever niche it is. So content, you're posting valuable content on your topic, whatever it is. Something that's popular right now, online fitness coaching. Let's go with that because it's not my business. I've never ran it, but this is just to prove that it works with anything. So if you're posting content about online fitness coaching, right? So you're coaching people on fitness. You're giving them good workouts. You're giving them your meal plans. You're giving them, tips on how to build a better mindset, how to stay disciplined in the gym. You're giving value, right? These people are then going to watch your videos and they're inevitably going to follow you. So they're going to see all your content. Now, throughout different CTAs, call to actions, whatever you want to do, however you promote, whatever you sell, these guys are going to turn into leads. If people found value from your content and you've built trust with them because they've seen you over and over again, they're going to opt in to buy whatever you're selling, whether it's a different digital product, whether it's a real product, a physical product, whether it's an affiliate for another company, whatever it is. And once you get them in the door as your follower because you've given value to them, they will turn into leads if you do your marketing right. And then that's how you get sales, money, whatever it is. They buy your product, they buy your info product, they sign up for your affiliate commission, whatever it is, whatever your page is optimized for. So this is the funnel. Valuable content. It's going to build your brand, aka views and followers, turn those into leads through your marketing, and then make money, sales. So now, how to give value? Because you're probably thinking, okay, what even is giving value, right? Like, obviously, I did that coffee shop analogy. You know what that is. You give money, they give you a coffee, whatever. But we're talking social media. Maybe you've never started before. So, step one, pick a niche. Pick a topic. Ideally, you do this from the start because that way you're going to be able to post content, like I said, only attracting people you want to attract. And you're basically basing your page around whatever you're trying to sell so that you're only attracting those people. So pick a niche. I just did the online fitness coaching example. You could do anything, but I'll talk about my business because that's what I have right here. I am a sports content creator. So I post different types of content throughout, the year, whether it's NFL season, NBA season, fantasy football season, whatever it is, right? But it's all over the same thing. It's all over the same niche, which is sports and mostly football. So step two, you need to become an expert in your content. How are you going to give value on something if you don't know anything about it? Ideally, you base your business off something you've done because this is going to give you credibility. My business, what I funnel people who are watching these videos to, if I'm trying to sell them, which really I don't because this is just a passion project thing for me. I'm trying to just, spread things I've actually learned, from building my main business. But people, join my mentorship if they want to learn how to make sports content. Why? Because I've actually got rich off sports content. You need credibility. You can't hop on the internet and be a business coach if you've never ran a business, right? So pick a niche. It could be any niche. You could be an online fitness coach, like I said. You could teach people how to play the trumpet. You could teach people how to be better sprinters, how to be better swimmers. You could teach people how to play the trombone. It doesn't matter what it is. Any niche, there's always ways to post valuable content. And another thing before I dive deep into this, once you're an expert on something, valuable content doesn't just mean tips. Valuable content isn't, do this, do this, do this. No, valuable content can also be inspiration. Like you've probably seen on my personal page. Do I post my business tips and knowledge? Yes. But I also post me and my McLaren, me with my watches, me with my lifestyle to motivate people, to inspire people. That is another form of value where I tell stories on my personal life that are relatable. So value isn't just, talking about these are the top 10 things to do, like not just actionable steps. Inspiration is value. Giving your feedback or your experience on things are value. So there's a lot of things that people will watch and, basically calculate as valuable content. So ideally, you pick something that you've done. You pick something that you're good at. Like I recommend, if you're big in the gym, you should be an online fitness coach. You know how the gym works. You know how meal plans work. You know how to work out, obviously, and then you can coach people to do the same thing. But you can pick it with anything, right? So Pick a niche, become an expert in it if you're not already. And then number three, most importantly, post content solving problems within that niche. So the reason I popped up my profile grid right here, just 6 random videos that I post, is because I wanted to break down how I run my sports content business, which has made me all my money. So all of these videos are about, fantasy football, different wide receivers. If you guys are watching this around the world, you may not know what fantasy football is. Long story short, you're basically betting on players during the NFL season or any sport, whatever, to do well. You compete against your friends. The better the players you pick do, the more points you get and you win. It's a fun game, right? So everybody plays fantasy football. I post videos on how to win your fantasy football league. That is my way of giving value. And whether it's fantasy targets, like people to draft, someone who's going to do well this year, whatever it is, all my content right now is fixated on fantasy football. Why? Because as soon as the NFL season hits, the way I make money is I promote getting people on the best betting apps in the world. Like I mentioned, Underdog, Prize Picks, Chalkboard, stuff like that. So when I do that, it's a super easy transition because it's my ideal client that I've attracted with my fantasy football content. They're football fans. It's the same as when I post football picks and promote apps to bet on football bets. So it's a super easy transition. I post fantasy so that I can, attract my ideal client. And once football season hits, I'm able to sell those people on my product that is based around exactly the content I post. So pick a niche, become an expert in it, and post content solving problems within your niche. The problem I'm solving is losing your fantasy league. People watch me and follow me because they want to win in fantasy. I'm giving them value and they follow me in return. So making money, how to get paid. Before I go into my sports content business to really go in depth in this is going to basically close out the actual funnel of how to get rich on social media. So making money, how do you get paid? You select your product, whatever it is. You can have an actual physical product, like a literal item that you sell, like clothing, for example, or you can have a digital product. These are courses, these are online communities, and these are what I recommend if you're just starting because there's no overhead costs. You don't have to deal with the actual physical product, and communities are a really good way, especially if you're doing something really niched, like whatever. Maybe it's, a group on how to become a better painter. Having a community because people like to interact is a really good way to make money. But the main way I make money with my sports content business is through affiliate. So an affiliate deal, you partner with another company, you promote their products, and they give you commission for every sale you get. But whatever you want to do, you obviously have to select your product, AKA the method you're going to get paid with. So number 2, you need to put systems and funnels in place to attract leads. So like I showed you guys what the funnel is. You start with your content. People are going to follow you. You're going to be building your brand. And then you need to turn those followers into leads. This can be through your marketing, right? So a system or a funnel that I have, for example, is through ManyChat. This logo right here is a site called ManyChat. It automates my DMs. So you've probably seen all over Instagram, right? People saying, comment the word this and I'll send you this, whatever it is, right? If you comment the word, the creator will automatically send you a DM with whatever they're offering you. It can be a free thing to whatever. And the way you do that, right, depending on what business you're in my business, I have a funnel where basically I have $300 fantasy leagues. So I'll say, hey, DM me the football emoji, as you can see right here, to join a $300 fantasy league. And how the funnel works is that once they get in, how they join the league is they sign up for one of these apps I'm affiliated with, and I get $75 or $100 a pop. So it goes to my funnels. They turn into leads because they want to join the fantasy league. That is basically the product. And then it funnels them to the way I make money, which is promoting my apps. And these are the apps I promote here: Underdog, Prize Picks, and Chalkboard. So that's just one way to make money, right? You need a funnel. You're not just going to, have a brand and post videos being like, hey, buy this. No, you need to post stories nurturing your customers, letting them know what you offer and why it's valuable. And then ideally you get them in your DMs. You can sell them on it. If you're selling an info offer or anything like that, a digital product, you can basically have them book a call with you if you wanted to. If you're selling info and then you hop on a sales call or your sales team does, or if you're just selling a normal digital product like a community or something like that, basically you would promote it in your content and your stories. You would have the link in your bio and it would be directly to your website to purchase whatever it is. So this is basically what it is, how you make money. You build your brand, you put a system and a funnel in place for whatever you're trying to promote, and you turn them into sales. Now, the number one thing with all of this is building a brand, because you can monetize your audience whenever you want, right? The views, the followers, social media in general is where all these people are going to come from. So that is number one. getting good content out, giving value with your content, building an audience. That's what you should be focused on. And then once you build that audience, then you can monetize it by offering a product or a service or something like that. But all of this stems from your social media content, because if you get all these views, right? And or if you don't get all these views, right? And you have a great product and nobody sees it, who cares? Nobody's going to buy it. You need to get the views. People need to have eyes on whatever you're trying to sell, and then you're going to make money. So social media is number one. You need to master that, giving out valuable content that gets views, becoming a master in your space, becoming a master at creating content in your space so that you can build your brand. And then once you have your brand, it's easy to make money with whatever way you want to do, whether it's a community, whether it's an affiliate deal like I do, whether it's a physical product, it doesn't matter. You can make money a million different ways once you have the brand. For example, going back to Mr. Beast, he has Feastables. I think he has a drink. He might be a partner with Prime. He's got a bunch of stuff. But the only reason people buy that product is because he's Mr. Beast, because of his brand. So it's all from the content. That's number one. So to recap this video, before I get into exactly what I do with my sports content business, is you need to post valuable content first on whatever niche you're in. Then that will go into building your followers and building your brand. People will follow you from your valuable content. Then they'll go into your funnel, aka your marketing, however you want to promote, whatever you're offering, whether it's in your content, on your stories, whether it's with email, text, whatever it is. And then that will go to your product or offer, whatever it is, aka making money. So this is the funnel, but it all stems from valuable content. Now, what makes a business good? Because maybe you watch this whole video, right? You're like, okay, I understand the blueprint. I understand I need to post valuable content. I need to build a brand, and then I need to have a product. But what business should I pick? So if you're thinking about picking a business, right, what makes a business good? Number one, profitability, especially if you're first starting out. You don't want to start a business and have 20% margins. You're going to have, not a lot of room for error. You're going to be buying an $80 product and selling it for $100. There's not going to be a lot of profit margin. It's going to be stressful. You're going to have to deal with way too many things. So ideally you do something online. This is why I recommended a community or something like that, a digital product, something that isn't tangible, but whether it's information, whether it's a community, something you offer online so that you don't have to deal with actual, physical product like transportation and things like that and all that overhead. You can just basically teach people whatever your expertise is, and you can do this with whatever you want. Next, $0 to low dollar startup costs. So if you're starting a business on social media, like I recommended, this one's a given because the way you're going to promote your stuff is really just with social media online. I don't run paid ads. All I do is organic. So I have $0 in marketing costs. Next, long-term value. Now, a lot of people are looking at things right now, like TikTok Shop, stuff like that, where yes, you can make quick money as an affiliate with TikTok Shop, but you're posting other people's content. You're not building a brand. You need to build a brand online if you want it to pay you forever. So you want to pick something with long-term value and then great margins, which is the same as profitability. So what I do, which I already mentioned in this video, I don't do drop shipping, I don't do Amazon FBA, I don't do e-com, all these basic things everyone does. The best business on the planet that I do is making sports content. Now, why is my business so good? Why is sports content the business that's made me almost $1.8 million? Well, it's because it has 1,000% margins. So, like I was saying earlier, if I get someone to sign up on one of my apps, right? Underdog, Prize Picks, Chalkboard, any of these apps, right? And they deposit $5 to $10, I get $100 each in commission. And it's the only business on the planet where you can get 1,000% margins. Why? Because people are going to continue to use these apps. The apps know what their lifetime value is, their LTV of the users, and they're willing to pay the creators up front. So if you can use these tenets that I taught you in this video and go viral with social media and build a brand with the sports content space, you can make a ton of money. $0 startup costs. You can monetize quickly, of course. Here to stay. This is a multi-billion-dollar market. Sports and sports betting are getting bigger and bigger every year. Cons, there really are none. So you're probably wondering, right? How do we actually get paid? Like, why would an app pay $100 for a single user? So basically, it's because people are going to continue to use these apps. They're going to bet on these apps. So all we have to do is get users on them. $5 to $10 deposits are the minimum, and we get $75 to $100 CPA for each one. So I was telling you guys about my boy, Fantasy Football Saf, right? The way he made $68,000 profit in December was simply because he got 680 people on an app. And if you do the math, right, if you're posting viral sports content like I teach in my program, Sports Creator Academy, and like I've done to amass 250,000 followers, you are going to get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views on your videos. And you only need 680 people to sign up to make that 68 grand. So if you're getting that many eyeballs on a product with this great of profit margins, it is literally a real life money glitch. So to get back to what I was saying, that's how we get paid. All of these apps, they'll pay you $75 to $100 each for just a minimum deposit of $5 to $10 with your promo code, which you obviously promote in your content. Next, these are some of my earnings, just, for some proof. Underdog, Prize Picks, Chalkboard. This is one day. A lot of the apps we work with literally pay out instantly in the app. So as you can see, all May 10th, what is this, like $1,200 just one day, because all these people were signing up from the videos I posted. You just get paid. Notification, notification, notification. This is one of the apps I promote, Underdog. These are some of the checks I've gotten. $49,500 one month. Like I said, that's only 495 people on one app because it's a $100 CPA out of 4 or 5 we promote. And that isn't even the only way we make money. Yes, we have the affiliate money with these apps, which is the main way you get paid as a sports content creator. But we also sell other products. Like, for example, I sell VIP picks. Like, all the way from when I started my business to now, I've made almost another $250,000 just off selling my VIP picks. That takes 5 to 10 minutes a day to run. I literally post once a day, and all that reoccurring revenue comes to me every single month, all from my same sports content brand. Also, once you get big enough, we got some sponsorships and paid posts. So there's a lot of ways to make money here. And if you want to join Sports Creator Academy, right? This is where I teach one-on-one every single thing I know about getting rich off sports content. And as you can see, here are some of our winning students. I've had this for about 1.5 years now. Fantasy Football Sab made 68K profit in December. We were just talking about him. My boy Ryan, Fantasy Football MI, made 75K in his first year as a college student and bought his dream AMG. And then Brucey, he went from 0 to 35,000 followers with an AI voice, not even with his face on the internet, all because he was following the right content systems. So if you guys are interested in Sports Creator Academy, I'm going to show you guys right now. Honestly, let me just pull up Instagram on this video. Show you guys right now a little bit about, what I offer. So basically, inside of Sports Creator Academy, there's over 3 hours of course content that is showing you exactly, every single thing I know. So if you want to watch the videos, of these guys who have won, you can literally watch these live testimonials on my site. As you can see, Fantasy Football MI, Dollar Tree, Bonfire. These are other success stories of guys who have made a bunch of money in the program. But basically, watch this quick video. It's going to explain a bit more about what's in the program. Sports Creator Academy, you're going to have 3 hours of course content. And the reason I made this, guys, wasn't to make money. This is 5 to 10% of my income. I make plenty of money from my sports content business. But once I realized how much money I could make from this, and I showed my friends, that it was possible, and they started to blow their page up, I knew I had to spread this to the world. So we got 50 members. All of these guys are working on the same goal, becoming the best sports creator possible. And it's extremely valuable to be in a community with 50 guys all going towards the same goal. So this is why I built it, to have a like-minded community of guys who are serious about changing their life and taking over this space. So in our classroom, we have 3 hours of course content from every single thing you would need to build your page, edit your videos, build an audience, and monetize your page. Literally every single thing I know is here. We have weekly Zoom calls because it is one-on-one. You're going to be able to DM me, and then also once a week hop on a Zoom call where I'll answer any questions you have. And then maybe the most valuable asset of the course, guys, is that you're going to get immediate partnerships. Underdog, Chalkboard, Dabble, Wanna Parlay. Most of these apps only work with big creators, but because I've made money with these apps, because I have good relationships with these apps, when you join the program, you're going to be able to get immediate partnerships. You're going to be able to get paid literally within the first 5 to 7 days of joining the program. I didn't get a code until I had 30,000 followers, so this is a huge deal that you're going to be able to get paid pretty much instantly when you join the group and get your affiliate deals active. So this is Sports Creator Academy, guys. There's obviously a lot more to go over, and it is very one-on-one. I am picky with who I work with. So if you want to learn more about this, guys, check out the links below. You're going to be able to watch those live testimonial interviews. And if you're serious about changing your life and you want to learn one-on-one from me how to make your first 10K a month online as a sports content creator, you can book a call with me. We'll talk personally for 15, 20 minutes, see if you're a good fit, and you can make a decision from there. And then some other resources I got for you guys. I have a full free course on sports content that you guys can watch. watch. I'll link that below. It's like an hour and a half long, nothing paid at all. I even give some videos from my paid course for free for you guys. And then if you want to get to know me a little bit more, I also have an hour and a half video of my story, going a little bit more in depth of how I started making money, the stuff I went through, trials and tribulations, and the most important lessons I've learned along the way. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below. Subscribe to the channel. I'm just trying to educate you guys on every single thing I've learned going from zero to millionaire at 19 years old. Follow me on Instagram. I'll link that below. I post multiple times a day on there as well. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.